Hi everyone, David MacDonald here from Vitality Fitness Calgary. Today we're going to go over your exercise of the week. Exercise of the week is a TRX High Row. So great exercise for working the upper back as well as the rear delts. So it's a little bit of a different variation from a regular TRX row where we have our elbows tucked in. Okay, the big difference is the elbows are actually going to be up at an angle like this. Okay, so that does change the movement, and the way it changes the movement is you're going to hit the rear delts, but you're also going to work higher up, okay, on the back. So you're going to be working the rhomboids, but you're also going to be getting up into that mid-trap as opposed to when you have your elbows tucked in and you're neutral with your hands, you're going to be working more that lower trap rhomboid, okay, and not really working the rear delts a lot. So high row does change the movement a lot. A couple things you want to remember: feet are together. We're going to have our chest up, shoulders down and back, eyes are forward, and what we're doing is we're going to pull, and as we pull, we're going to have those elbows go up at an angle, and we're going to be squeezing those shoulder blades together as we come forward, and then we're going to straighten the arms as we come back, nice and slow. Okay, so we're elbows up, squeezing those shoulder blades together, keeping those elbows up, and then we're slowly coming back down to the bottom. Okay? So when we do the high row, a couple things that might happen is you might lift the elbows and then the shoulders start to shrug. So the real key is keeping those elbows up while those shoulders stay down and back. So that's going to be the real tricky part initially when you're learning this movement. So what I would recommend is only bring your elbows up to the point where you can still keep your shoulders down. And that's a great way to learn the movement and to build strength and to eventually progress to being able to do elbows all the way up. So maybe what you do when you start, if you can't keep those shoulders down, is you have the elbows out slightly like this. And then as you get stronger, and as the upper back gets stronger, and as you're able to keep those shoulders down, you start progressing higher and higher with those elbows. Okay, to the point where you're getting them right up, and you're squeezing those shoulder blades together while the shoulders stay down and back. Okay, so that's going to be the real tricky part in this movement. Second thing you want to think about on this exercise is you're keeping that chest up. So a very common thing we'll see on this exercise is we'll see this, and trying to row with the chest dropping and the back rounding. So you're creating a bit of flexion through the spine. Okay, and those shoulders are coming through, so they're not stable. We're not packing that scapula down enough. Okay, so we always got to keep that chest up, shoulders are dropped down and back, and those shoulders are stable. And then we're initiating the movement. Okay? Third thing we want to keep in mind is core. So as you've seen in a lot of our other videos, core is very, very important with everything, especially when you get on a set of TRX straps. Okay, you have a lot more instability, okay, with these TRX straps, so it does require the use of more core strength. Okay? So we always want to think about when we're in the TRX strap, tucking the pelvis under, bracing the abs to keep this locked in, and keeping that brace the whole time. Okay, especially when we start to get tired, it's going to be a little bit more challenging. We have a tendency to let go and go into more of an anterior rotation through the hips. So if that is happening, what I would encourage you to do is slide your feet back a bit. So if you are, say, starting down here, and you start to get tired on that high row, and you start to drop those hips, and you can't keep that pelvis intact, scoot your feet back a little bit, and that's going to take away some resistance when you're on the high row. Okay? Other option you could do, this is more for beginners, this is more for people who are learning and who might have a really, really hard time with the exercise, they're just not understanding the mechanics of it. You can always do one of two things. You can scoot back, and you could go into an offset stance, and you could row from an offset stance to learn the mechanics, the high row. If that wasn't working, you can always move to a regular row. Okay, regular row is going to be a little bit easier to learn. Mechanics are easier to learn, so you can also do that as well. You can move into more of a neutral row. So that's the high row, guys. Those are all the different things you want to remember when you're doing the high row. And those are all the different modifications that you can use as well if you find the movement too difficult. So again, we can have our elbows only go up to a certain point. Okay, we can scoot back so we're not lifting as much body weight. We can do an offset stance. Okay, we can just go into a regular row. and learn that before we progress to a high row, okay? So that's the TRX High Row. That's your exercise of the week. If you have any questions, please post them below on our YouTube video, on our YouTube channel. You can also post them on Facebook as well. I'm MacDonald from Vitality Fitness Calgary. Thanks so much for watching.